What's up, people? This is Julian's Way. Hope you're having a great day. So today I want to talk about losing weight, whether you're going to the gym or not going to the gym, and I'm going to take it in steps and explain to you exactly what it is really, what happens when you lose weight really. Basically, it depends on your activity level and your calories, your intake. If you burn more than you eat, you're in a deficit, you lose weight. If you eat more than you burn, or you take in more calories than you burn, you're in a surplus, so you gain weight. It's that simple. Whether it's dirty, clean food, your body doesn't care about that. It cares about where the calories are coming from and the amount of calories at the end of the day. So a typical gym person right now that's working out and doing cardio is going to be able to get away with maybe more food and calories or whatever. So somebody that's not going to the gym and is just home and stuff like that, they too can lose weight. I probably mentioned it before in my previous video, but I lost weight lying in bed, maybe about 10 pounds for about a month, just eating clean, starting to eat clean. So it's very likely and it's very possible to be activity level low and lose weight, but you've got to eat less. So there are two ways to do this. You can eat junk food, but you've got to eat really a bit. So if you was going to eat a half a burger, you're going to have to eat half, stuff like that. Or you can eat more food and you can eat clean, and that's the way I prefer to go. But I personally try to maintain a balance. All right, that's how it is done. If you eat more clean food, you'll feel more full, and end of it all, it's more healthy in terms of cholesterol and stuff like that that appears with a lot of people later on. So let me just get that out of the way and say it comes down to the amount of calories you eat versus, what does that tell you, your activity level. So if your activity level is high one day, I would recommend that you eat less on that day. That's how I do it. So if your activity level is high, you have a physically demanding job, well, then you can get away with more calories and still look good, or still lose weight, depending on your activity level. So if you're not doing no cardio, you're not going to the gym, no home workouts, nothing like that, then you need to eat way less. And like I said, you need to eat clean, or maybe you can throw in something, one of your favorite snack or food or whatever, but you've got to do it with moderation. So that's what I really want to say. You've got to eat according to your activity level. Now let's start off by talking about carbs. All right, the amount of carbs people eat, sometimes I really think that it's unnecessary, because for me personally, like right now, example, I'm home workouts, well, it depends, but I do not need to eat more than a cup of rice or a cup of rice. That's like a spoon of rice here in what we call it in Guyana. So that amount is sufficient enough for a home workout. I would say about 45 minutes or half an hour I do. You do not need that amount of food. Now there are people that eat way more than me and they don't even work out, and they wonder why they're fat or why they're overweight. And if I'm to check it, they cook with that, this oil, that and stuff like that. I don't do that. So sometimes I get away and I eat a cheat meal and I still don't have like that amount of fat on me. I'm not a fat person, and I can eat a lot of fat food, but I know I do it in moderation. I know when to do it and stuff like that. Now you can apply the same method. You can just cut back on some carbs and stuff like that. Another tip is with carbs, I don't eat rice and bread on the same day. I do them separately, because I'm like, if I already ate rice, and rice is a really powerful carb, right? You should know that. I'm not going to eat rice and roti and pancake. I know people that really love their roti and stuff like that, and bake and all this kind of stuff. That has oil, that has a lot of calories just in the oil alone. Then the flour and the mixing and all that. Just think about that. I'm just breaking this down. I'm not telling you what to eat. Like I say, you can eat that, but you can just eat less and you can lose weight, or you can go all out clean. It depends on your comfort level. But I think you should make it more into a lifestyle, to be honest, than doing a diet just for a few weeks and then you have those cravings and you go back to square one and stuff. So about carbs, that's what I want to really say about carbs. All right, I do not eat like two of the same carbs on the same day, like floury stuff. I do that on a separate day, and I do rice on a separate. So if I eat bread today, I'm not going to eat no rice today. That's how I do it. If I eat potatoes, which I'm not a big fan of potatoes, I'm not going to eat rice nor bread on that day. That's how I do it. So these are some tips that I'm giving you. People want the whole package, but what you can do, you can switch things up. You can maybe eat rice for a week, or maybe you can eat rice one day and skip out on rice and then eat one of your favorite food, whatever it is, bread, roti, bacon, cake, or whatever it is. That's how I would recommend that. All right. So another thing is another thing with fats, you don't need that amount of fat, and people think that they can get away with eating healthy fats like nuts and avocados and not worry and think about getting fat. That is healthy fat, but those are calories. At the end of the day, your body cares about the calories, so you're still going to gain weight or you're still going to lose weight slow depending on the amount you eat. So that doesn't mean that you don't have to work out. You still have to work out, all right, but it might not be as bad or hurt you as much as if you would eat like animal fat. When I say animal fat, I mean fat from the chicken, like hydrogenated oil. I would put in that category. So you do not need that amount of fat. You can survive without that amount of fat. So take that into consideration. See where your fat sources are coming from. I know here it's a lot about the oil and cooking with a lot of oil and stuff, a lot of oily stuff in people diet at least once or twice a day. When you check it out, there's something that's cooked with oil or done with oil, or has that amount of oil, and then people still go through snacking, which brings me to snacking. All right, snacking is something that's unnecessary. If you have a balanced diet and there's amount of calories in one meal to take you to the next meal, you don't need to be snacking. That's added calories. I know some people appetites open up later on and stuff, but you've got to choose what you eat. I would recommend fruits, but sugary stuff like grapes, mango, that's high in sugar. Even banana, you've got to do it in moderation. So pick fruits that aren't that sweet, or if you're going to pick your sweetest fruit in the world, do it in moderation, meaning just do a piece or a part. All right. What I want to come down to in terms of another thing is eating to satisfaction. What is eating to satisfaction? Some people would regard eating to satisfaction as being full. For me, it's not being full. Being full is being full. Being deprived is being deprived, and overeating is overeating. So you want to be somewhere between okay. I would call it okay, and that's my kind of satisfaction, whereby you eat and you feel good. You don't feel deprived, but you don't feel full. You can live with that for a few hours. That's how you need to eat, and you've got to know that for yourself. Unless you're like doing trying to get a diet plan and stuff like that, then you can get more technical. But this is a lifestyle way how you can go about judging things, right? Whether it's floury stuff like rice, I would say like a handful of rice with your hands. That I would recommend not going past like a couple of that, which is like 2 or a handful of rice. That's probably the amount I would say. All right, I'm just giving you an example. It's not for everybody. So you really want to take that into consideration, how you eat and how you feel, right? So eat to just being okay satisfaction, and keep that in between meals. Like I said, I wouldn't recommend snacking unless you're feeling deprived or lightheaded or something like that, but you don't need that. That's a way that people came up with stuff, and I don't want to get into that whole snack thing, but all I'm saying that snack is not necessary. But if you're going to do it the healthy way with maybe a simple fruit. I would recommend like apple. Apple has a lot of sugar, but apple doesn't have a lot of carbs, so apple isn't that bad, all right, and has a lot of benefits. You can do other fruits like I said, but you've got to know for yourself the amount of moderation that you do it in and how often you do it and stuff like that. Another thing that people are backed up with is sugar. I want to talk about sugar, and what I'm saying is that if you're going to eat something that's really sugary, eat something or drink something that, like I said, eating, I would recommend the fruits naturally. We're not talking about preservatives. We're trying to go here naturally. So if it's it that you're really trying to lose weight within a certain amount of time, I would recommend you do something like an artificial sweetener, or something like a Diet Pepsi or a Diet Coke. Now that might not be the healthiest way to go because of the carbonated stuff. You know, I often tell people and preach people to not drink carbonated stuff, and a lot of reason for that is bloating. Also, the carbonation in the drinks aren't good for your bones. It's unhealthy for your bones, and the amount of sugar that's in it. So let me explain why it's so important to take away these drinks from your diet. If you eat a meal that has carbs, and let's say chicken, it has fat, it has these 3 things, and you go and you drink a small carbonated drink, soda or whatever, that has calories and sugar. Now your body isn't going to burn the food, it's going to keep that on reserve. So you're basically going to be fuel on the carbs and the sugar from the drink. So that you can consider a meal. That's why people want to know how they still put on weight, how the weight is back up. So if your body doesn't use that food in a few hours, it's going to back up as reserve. It's going to be stored away as glycogen. And the energy in the sugar, if it's not used, is going to be fat. So I would tell you to cut sugar out as much as possible. And it's better to drink a Diet Pepsi and a Coke. It's not the best thing, but it's better to go halfway clean in terms of getting rid of the sugar and still have the carbonated stuff. That's the people that are really addicted though, but if you can cut it out, I would say cut it out completely and just get your sugar sources from natural stuff like fruits and so on. In terms of protein, I personally now I'm not going to the gym, so I've reduced my protein to maybe I would say about 20% because I'm not really in the muscle building state right now, so I'm just trying to maintain it with my home workouts. So you've got to know if you're trying to build muscle, then you've still got to eat a decent amount of protein. And if you're not working out and stuff, you don't need that amount of protein, but you still need like clean thing, not like fried chicken with the skin and stuff like that. If you're eating that, make sure you back that up with some veggies. That's if you have that sort of dirty and clean mentality like me. I would eat something clean, like a piece of chicken, and then I would go and get some clean vegetables just to balance that. I'm not going to go and get mashed potatoes with a bunch of stuff with sugar and butter and mayonnaise and that sort of thing. So replace the fruits with the sugar, I mean with fruits and stuff, and the drinks with artificial, the zero diet Coke, Pepsi, whatever it is, energy drink. And if you want to use the artificial sweetener, there's something called, I don't remember exactly what it is, but it's agave or something like that. But it's like a natural sweetener like nectar and honey and stuff like that. But honey does have calories. You can replace sugar with honey, but like I said, it's not going to make a much difference. Honey does have calories. So don't think that if you just go all the way healthy and you eat a lot of healthy stuff like the greens, yes, but things like avocado and those oil, the canola oil and all this olive oil, that still has calories. It's just that it's a bit more clean and healthy than the regular ones. But on the topic of oil completely, I'm not a person to deal with oil and butter and stuff like that. So I would also recommend that maybe you can drink some tea when you eat and stuff like that. That would help. And when I say tea, that's without milk and sugar. But if that's how you want to get it in, you've got to cut back something. If not, just drink the tea, whatever tea you like. You know, coffee helps with me. It helps with your appetite, but everybody's not the same and stuff like that. And a big tip, and something that I see people do is a lot of people eat or stock up on things in their refrigerator and their home, their cupboards, and things that they have a craving and weakness for. You don't do that. I love cookies. I love certain things that I like. I buy it in small amount, or I totally skip it. I get temptations to, I go in the supermarket and I want like every pastry I see. Like if there are 20 different pastries, I want all 20. That's how I think, or I want like about 5 or 6, or I'm gonna do this one this week, I'm gonna do that one next week. And sometimes you've got to just hold strong and just pause that aisle, or don't go in that aisle and don't go in that section. That's what I would recommend. Don't buy a bunch of ice cream. Buy a small amount of ice cream unless you have that control. But once you start eating, that's it. You just keep going and going. I'm like that. So I prefer not to buy any, or just to buy them in small portions. So that's my recommendations for you guys. Alright, just try to do things in moderation. And you can have a little cheat meal every now and then, but like I said, if I'm gonna go have a big cheat meal, that's it. On that day, whether it's a one meal, I'm not gonna do a whole cheat day all day. I'm gonna eat junk food. No, I've never really done that. I've done maybe 1 or 2 sit-ins, that's it. But people go out all through the day. More cheat days are probably going to be coming up, and maybe I'll do a talk on cheating and other ways how to balance back and rebound and stuff like that. But that's it for now. Alright, I just want to say that if you make these little steps, that once you fall in love with the process, the results will come and you will see changes. These little things add up. So it comes down to you versus the way you look versus over taste. Are you going to risk a couple of minutes of what can I say, ecstasy in your mouth, that good feeling, that good taste, over how you look for the rest of the 24 hour or half a day, or when you go on the beach, or however is it you want to look, or when, I would say, when you're showering. As for me, I love to look down and see that my abs or something, at least a 2 pack or a 4 pack, if not the whole 6 pack. All right. So that's a little motivation when you look at yourself and remember why you started or why you want to continue, is just to keep going and keep the discipline, and just do things in moderation. Make practice, take it slowly. If you're going to do this also, what I wanted to mention is take it weekly. Do not try to change things up day for day. Let your body slowly adjust and stuff like that. And of course, keep your cardio in there. All right. That's about it. I'm not gonna drag on the video. All right, you've got to be in charge of yourself, and like I said, you've got to know what you want to do, looks versus taste. If it's worth it, you're in charge of yourself. And if you cannot do these things, well, then you're really not mastering yourself, or in this aspect of what you want to achieve in that aspect of your life. Please like, share, and subscribe if you haven't. If you have made it this far, please do so. Thanks for your time, thanks for watching, and hit that bell button. Until my next video, guys, peace and take care.